You've got a vehicle assembled in Japan, designed by American experts, and marketed globally. Identical components everywhere: the pistons, bearings, turbocharger, the whole setup. Yet flip open the owner's guide in America, and it insists on 0W-20 oil. Switch to the same manual in places like Australia, Europe, or parts of Southeast Asia, and it switches to 5W-30, or occasionally even 10W-30. What's the deal? Has the motor transformed during its ocean voyage? Did the materials warp from the journey? Or is there a deeper, concealed factor influencing these suggestions? In this discussion, we're uncovering one of the least grasped aspects of vehicle upkeep. Why America favors slimmer oils such as 0W-20, whereas much of the globe opts for denser, more safeguarding mixtures. Believe me, after grasping the underlying dynamics, your perspective on that oil filler cap will shift forever. Insight 1. The hidden side of oil regulations. The reality that few automakers openly admit. In the United States, vehicles specify 0W-20 not due to inherent engine requirements, but because national regulations enforce superior fuel efficiency. Car producers must comply with rigorous corporate average fuel economy, CAFE mandates. A mere 0.1 mile per gallon deficit could result in hefty multi-million-dollar penalties. To minimize drag inside the engine, they select the leanest oil viable. During EPA evaluation loops, shifting from 5W-30 to 0W-20 can enhance recorded mileage by 0.5 to 1.0 miles per gallon, sufficient to meet benchmarks and dodge sanctions. However, the downside is evident. Leaner oil equates to reduced shielding. In scenarios involving elevated temperatures, hauling loads, congested roads, or aggressive acceleration, 0W-20 might degrade quicker than 5W-30, exposing elements like bearings, camshaft lobes, and piston seals to greater risk. This explains why identical powertrains in foreign markets, think Japan, Europe, or Australia, frequently employ 5W-30 or 5W-40, prioritizing longevity over marginal efficiency improvements. As a former Toyota specialist put it succinctly, oil selection isn't purely technical, at times it's bureaucratic. So, how can these motors be deemed the same when their handling varies so drastically across borders? Hang on, as the narrative deepens from here. Insight 2. The intricacies of design clearances. This dives into the nitty-gritty, yet it's crucial knowledge. All motors are constructed with precise allowances known as tolerances, the minuscule separations among dynamic components such as bearings, piston rings, cam lobes, and the crankshaft. These intervals dictate the oil volume required to create a defensive layer. Contemporary engines, optimized for performance, typically feature narrower tolerances, implying slimmer internal spacings. Oils like 0W-20 can penetrate these confined areas swiftly, cutting resistance and boosting gas mileage, ideal for regulated emission assessments under mild settings. But the equation alters amid actual driving stresses, including thermal buildup, heavy usage, and accumulated distance. Over time, engines inevitably wear, causing these tolerances to widen organically. When that occurs, extremely thin oil may fail to sustain an adequate barrier, particularly under intense heat. This leads to heightened engine sounds, greater oil usage, and accelerated deterioration in the long run. Consequently, numerous global regions advocate 5W-30 or 5W-40 for equivalent engines. The more substantial oil effectively bridges those expanded clearances during warmth, delivering robust padding between metallic surfaces. To put it plainly, slender oil suits fresh, precise fits. Heavier oil safeguards maturing, looser fits. And this forms a key rationale for varying oil directives across nations and between fresh-off-the-lot and high-odometer vehicles, ensuring adaptability to real-life evolution. Insight 3. The fundamentals of lubricant layering. Time to demystify a frequently misconstrued element of engine lubricants, the digits on the container. For 0W-20, the 0W indicates its performance in chilly environments. The W denotes winter, and a smaller figure means superior flow when the motor is frigid. Beneficial in icy areas, as rapid circulation upon ignition minimizes direct metal friction within the engine. The 20 signifies the oil's density at peak running heat. Essentially, its ability to uphold a shielding coat when components are scorching. Contrast this with 5W-30. It offers marginally more resistance at cold ignitions, but when heated, remains considerably more substantial than 0W-20, yielding a tougher, steadier lubricant layer amid thermal stress, compression, towing duties, rapid transit, or extended freeway journeys. The core takeaway? In 0W-20, emphasizes swift cold weather movement and mileage optimization. 5W-30 stresses thermal endurance, defense, and extended lifespan. Thus, when uniform engines adopt diverse oils in various territories, it reflects a pivot in emphases, from mandated efficiency goals to practical robustness in everyday operation, aligning with regional demands and expectations. Insight 4. The rigidity of EPA approval constraints. A lesser-known fact that clarifies the infrequency of U.S. oil guideline alterations. Upon presenting a vehicle to the EPA for mileage validation, the lubricant utilized in that examination becomes the mandated standard for that engine within the American sector. It's virtually sealed indefinitely. Should a producer evaluate the engine using 0W-20 and secure its efficiency score accordingly, that figure is inextricably linked to the model's profile. Altering the advised oil afterward, for instance, to 5W-30 for enhanced enduring safeguard, would necessitate costly re-evaluations, additional filings, and updated pollution records. Due to this, even if practical scenarios indicate denser oil could offer superior defense, notably in warmer areas or with aging motors, the maker adheres to the initial certification lubricant. Not necessarily because it's optimal universally, but since their regulatory compliance hinges on it. Such approval rigidity is absent in the majority of overseas arenas, allowing identical engines there to utilize 5W-30 or 5W-40 without regulatory hurdles, fostering flexibility based on local needs rather than locked-in benchmarks. Insight 5. The challenges of thermal strain. A fact seldom shared with motorists. Elevated temperatures pose the primary threat to slim lubricants, and the United States experiences some of the planet's most dramatic climate variations. A 0W-20 formulation might excel in locales like Minnesota or Wisconsin, where winter chills routinely plunge below 22 degrees Celsius, ensuring smooth cold weather performance. Yet the dynamics shift dramatically in sweltering zones. In regions such as Arizona, Nevada, or Texas, summertime pavement heats surpass 140 degrees, with surrounding air lingering at 105 to 120 degrees Celsius for prolonged periods. In these extremes, motor oil can climb to 230, 260 degrees Celsius effortlessly, prompting ultra-lean oils to break down, diluting well past their specified thickness. When this transpires, the defensive barrier among metallic elements diminishes, escalating erosion on bearings, seals, and valve train parts. This accounts for why technicians in arid states encounter more frequent reports of oil depletion and thermal issues in motors using 0W-20. In contrast, overseas territories with persistently warm climates, including the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Australia, routinely specify 5W-30 or 5W-40, which preserve their consistency beyond 250 degrees and deliver markedly superior protection against intense heat. Ultimately, the diverse thermal landscape of America underscores why a single lubricant can't feasibly accommodate every environment, highlighting the need for tailored approaches to maintain engine health across varying conditions. Insight 6. The warranty reality uncovered. This topic often sparks anxiety among owners. The instant torque turns to deviating from 0W-20 to something like 5W-30. The immediate concern is warranty invalidation. Let's set the record straight with facts grounded in American federal legislation. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act explicitly protects consumers by stating that no manufacturer can refuse warranty claims solely based on aftermarket parts or services, unless they definitively prove that the specific choice directly led to the breakdown. It's not about potential risks or possibilities. Proof of causation is required. Therefore, selecting a premium full synthetic 5W-30 that aligns with the necessary approvals, such as API-SP, ILSAC GF6, or your model's precise certifications, keeps your coverage fully valid under the law. Some factory service documents even acknowledge that 5W-30 serves as an acceptable alternative in situations where 0W-20 isn't accessible, provided it satisfies equivalent performance criteria. This acts as your legal safeguard. Seasoned technicians, particularly those operating in warmer climates, frequently suggest transitioning to 5W-30 once mileage hits 60,000 to 80,000 miles, to address accumulated wear, thermal demands, and evolving clearances. This isn't rule-breaking or risky. It's pragmatic decision-making tailored to actual operating environments rather than idealized testing scenarios. Insight 7. The practical consequences of wear over time. On specification sheets, 0W-20 appears sleek, efficient, and forward-thinking. Yet everyday engines endure far harsher realities than sterile lab environments. They deal with scorching heat, heavy payloads, prolonged idling, contaminants, and progressive component degradation daily. With increasing mileage, those engineered clearances inevitably expand. Bearings develop play, piston rings lose their seal integrity, and timing mechanisms elongate. In these conditions, exceptionally thin oil has difficulty sustaining the necessary hydrodynamic layer to avert direct metal contact. Repair professionals commonly observe the outcomes beyond 80,000 to 120,000 miles: elevated oil burn-off, audible ticking during warm operation, accelerated timing chain deterioration, and stubborn deposit accumulation, all more prevalent in vehicles consistently using low-viscosity lubricants long-term. A mechanically fatigued engine simply requires a more substantial barrier to bridge those widened spaces, particularly amid elevated temperatures and stresses. This mirrors exactly why equivalent engines in international regions transition to 5W-30 or 5W-40 as they mature, delivering sustained viscosity stability at operating heat for superior safeguarding against genuine daily abuse. Prioritizing longevity and practical use outweighs chasing tiny efficiency increments from controlled cycles. Insight 8. The hidden power of formulation chemistry. Even veteran technicians are sometimes caught off guard by this. The true performance of motor oil hinges far more on its internal blend than the viscosity grade printed on the label. Those SAE figures like 0W-20 or 5W-30 reveal only a portion of the picture. Protection ultimately stems from the sophisticated additive suite: detergents combating buildup, anti-wear compounds shielding surfaces, friction reducers optimizing efficiency, and the quality of base stocks. Premium full synthetics incorporate cutting-edge cleaners to eliminate sludge, elevated concentrations of key anti-wear elements like ZDDP for robust boundary lubrication, and superior base oils such as PAO or ester groups that hold film integrity under punishing thermal loads. Consequently, an elite ester-fortified 0W-20 can surpass a basic conventional 5W-30 in cleanliness, thermal resilience, and overall endurance. The advanced recipe provides exceptional staying power when the engine faces peak demands. Tribology specialists and lubrication authorities consistently emphasize that superior formulation chemistry frequently trumps a mere shift in grade. A meticulously engineered synthetic with outstanding high heat stability can deliver comparable or superior real-world defense without needing to step up viscosity. Insight 9. Evidence from dissected engines and lab data. Moving beyond speculation to tangible results makes the contrast between 0W-20 and 5W-30 starkly evident. Consider identical Toyota Camry models equipped with the 2.5L 2AR FE engine, operated concurrently for 100,000 miles in demanding southern US conditions. The 0W-20 variant yielded roughly 0.7 mpg extra efficiency, yet independent oil analysis revealed the 5W-30 counterpart exhibited about 40% reduced wear particulates in the lubricant, with cleaner internal components overall. The 0W-20 unit displayed subtle varnish deposits beneath the valve cover, whereas the 5W-30 example stayed remarkably pristine. Similar patterns emerged in evaluations of Honda's 1.5L turbocharged L15B7 engine. Those on 0W-20 showed noticeably higher oil usage and amplified turbo-bearing degradation. Upon changing to 5W-30, oil consumption decreased by approximately 30%, and wear indicators dropped nearly 50%, particularly evident when oil temperatures exceeded 230 degrees C during intense turbo operation. The compelling aspect? Honda prescribes 5W-30 for this very engine in non-US territories. Uniform hardware, divergent lubricants, and undeniable empirical outcomes highlight how real driving evidence consistently favors the thicker option for durability. Insight 10. What seasoned technicians quietly select for their own vehicles? For genuine long-term engine safeguarding, observe the choices made by experienced mechanics in their personal rides. In countless workshops nationwide, the unspoken consensus leans toward 5W-30 once vehicles surpass 60,000 miles, especially in regions prone to high heat. These pros witness the recurring pitfalls of prolonged thin oil use firsthand: premature timing chain elongation, persistent oil top-offs, scored bearings, and tenacious varnish layers. During typical highway runs, towing, or in scorching areas like Arizona, Texas, and Nevada, engines routinely push oil temperatures to 230–260 degrees F. At those levels, 0W-20 often shears dramatically, dropping viscosity and compromising its barrier effectiveness. A modestly thicker alternative holds its properties more reliably under thermal assault, ensuring consistent film strength. Owners' handbooks prioritize regulatory fuel targets, but technicians draw from years of component teardowns and failure analysis. Their selections reflect proven survival in authentic conditions, not optimized lab protocols. Insight 11. Building an intelligent, adaptive oil approach. An effective lubrication plan integrates multiple variables: regional climate, accumulated mileage, typical driving patterns, engine architecture, and lubricant sophistication, rather than fixating solely on the cap label. In frigid northern locales, 0W-20 excels with rapid cold flow during sub-zero startups. Conversely, in southern zones where surface heat nears 140 degrees and oil climbs past 230 degrees, 5W-30 or even 5W-40 delivers markedly improved thermal safeguarding. Turbo setups especially benefit from enhanced film robustness during boost phases, explaining why numerous global markets equip compact forced induction units with 5W-30 straight from production. As power plants accumulate wear and clearances grow, denser oil compensates by preserving adequate cushioning. Formulation excellence plays a pivotal role too. Synthetics boasting potent detergents, ample ZDDP content, and premium PAO ester foundations withstand degradation far superior to economy-grade options. The optimal choice evolves alongside the vehicle's life cycle and environmental demands, emphasizing sustained health over mere compliance-driven economy. If this deep dive has reshaped how you view what's happening beneath your hood, smash that like button and subscribe for additional no-nonsense technician-backed revelations that brands rarely highlight. Share your thoughts below. What viscosity are you currently using in your ride? 0W-20, 5W-30, or perhaps something even more substantial? Your experiences could guide fellow owners toward better decisions. And before signing off, check out our upcoming piece on quick reset techniques that resolve up to 95% of common vehicle glitches, loaded with straightforward, game-changing advice to keep your car performing at its peak.